right, welcome back, everyone. Let's play some more Pauper today. Today I'm going to be playing Celestia Boggles, which is a deck that's been around for ages in various formats. I remember playing it in Modern, where Daybreak Coronet and stuff like that was the main heavy hitters, and the creatures stay the same. We have Gallade Cover Scout and Slippery Bogle, which are almost the same, except Slippery Bogle can be countered on the stack by Pyroblast, which is something that I've done once in the opposite direction in my playing time with Pauper. Who knows if it comes up? That's like your bread and butter, the 8/1 drops. Then there's 3 copies of Silhana Ledgewalker to kind of round out the consistency part of it. And sometimes the evasion is pretty darn awesome on this card. Mana base is, you can build this in numerous ways. This list that I found online has a bunch of basics, single planes in case we get like Cleansing Wildfire. We play Thornglint Bridge as our duel of choice because we play a couple of All That Glitters. We have a single Cave of Temptation, which sometimes is poor man's fixing, sometimes can actually grow your creature. 4 copies of Utopia Sprawl, 4 copies of Abundant Growth. That's like your consistency. Utopia Sprawl is a fixer that ramps. Abundant Growth is a fixer that cantrips. Then we have 3 copies of Commune with Spirits, which basically is go get, like, it's some kind of cantrip, right? And then in an ideal world, you get the choice between, let's say, Aura that pumps your creature and Utopia Sprawl or Abundant Growth. So it's like, can be fixing, can be pump, right? It's a consistency card. You can also go for a land, like that's also like solid if you keep a 1-lander. For enchantments, I would say the most important ones are Ancestral Mask. Like this hits extremely hard. It will also count the opponent's enchantments. So God forbid we have a Puggle's Mirror that could come up, but also against just other random enchantments lying around. This card is awesome. Sometimes the opponent will chump block their way out of it, though. By the way, we have a, let's call it poor man's version of Ancestral Mask here in Ethereal Armor. Just like super solid, cheap, throws your creature out of proportion fast. Couple of All That Glitters. This counts artifacts and enchantments, so the artifact land works. So basically we have 10 of the heavy hitters. Then we have a single copy of Lifelink, because the format is a lot about racing. By the way, I really like this art. This is actually a beautiful card. 3 copies of Rancor, good old Rancor, a little bit of Trample, the evasion, like Rancor combined with one of the big ones make for clean and easy attacks. Then we play this Cartouche, which is not that impressive on the surface, but the context is like, what's the opponent's way of counterplaying this deck in the format? And edicts are kind of a big part of that. So having a card here that pumps our creatures, boosts the enchantment count, and creates a 1/1 is just good utility. And then one of my favorite cards, Armadillo Cloak. I remember having this in my collection when I started playing back in Invasion, and it was like unbeatable. Like, how can you ever beat a card creature with +2/+2 with trample and what we didn't know at the time, but now we kind of call it lifelink. But this is a trigger, so this is slightly worse. Let's say I'm blocking, then I actually die if I'm taking lethal damage. The lifelink doesn't, count in the other direction right away. It is a trigger. But that also means that this card kind of stacks on top of the Armadillo Cloak, because this is lifelink, Armadillo Cloak's a trigger. So let's take a look at the sideboard. A couple of Spirit Links for life gain against burn, a couple of Archers against fairies, 3 Cameo Safekeeping. This card I must think a little bit more about, because target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So I guess this card is good against like damage-based sweepers. That would be kind of cool. And a little bit of life gain on top. Young Wolf against edicts. Ram through against decks that kind of stop my attack step via, let's say, Moment's Peace or Prismatic Strands. This card can come in handy. Standard Bear for mirror and stuff like that. I hope this doesn't come into play. That would be horrible gameplay. But yeah, Flag Bear is a utility card there. And then Falcons, which is like an unbeatable threat. You don't have to worry about getting killed against red decks. Okay, let's see what this deck can do at the table. I haven't played this deck in Pauper in years, so lots of new cards here. And yeah, I'm excited to see what it can do. Okay, time for round 1. I won the die roll. How do I feel about this hand? So, Commune with Spirit. You can only take enchantment or land. I think if you could also take creature, I mean, I'm just making cards up now. Maybe, oh, actually, maybe there was a, like, to look at top 5 or whatever, green card at some point. Doesn't matter. I don't think I can keep this hand. If I don't find a creature, I'm not beating any deck in the format, so let's mulligan. This is a lot better. Now I can go turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, name white. So let's see, get rid of forest. Turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, name white. Turn 2, play Slippery Boggle. Put whatever is the most important, most likely going to be Ethereal Armor on it. That worked. Yeah, let's put Ethereal Armor on it. Play a tap land. I now have a 3/3, which, you know, is very beatable, but let's see. I'm susceptible to Edict, but can't do anything about that. Kind of the name of the game. That card is decent. Let's play Commune. Armadillo Cloak. That's probably a good one. So play land. Armadillo Cloak on the Boggle is now a 6/6. And we're approaching the Edict or Bust territory for the opponent. Here's probably some ninja action. The industry standard is playing like 1 Edict. But drawing a Hexproof creature would be Chef's Kiss. Then I think I'm in the clear. Maybe that will do it. Let's see. Cartouche. And lifelink. Attack for 9. So actually, the opponent can still have Snuff Out plus Edict and Stabilize here. I probably lose if that's the case, which is sad. Snuff Out the Warrior, go to 2. Edict the Slippery Bogle, and I'm kind of screwed. Doesn't look like it. Suffocating Fumes, that's another card that takes care of the warrior, but will cost mana. The opponent needs enough toughness here, and yeah, so the opponent needs to double chump in this spot. Utopia Sprawl, might as well play it because it grows my creature. It's an annoying card for the opponent to counter, but they just might have to. And I have to do some math here. Can I attack with both? That's the question. And I have a 10/10. My opponent's at 6. I think I can attack with both because, let's say my opponent eats the warrior with ninja chump blocks here, then they take 7. Yeah, I can attack with both here. My opponent needs to double chump. Let's see. Ooh, I have to think about a scenario here. I have to think about the scenario that my opponent has the Edict in hand. And they have Spell Stutter Sprite to kill the warrior. And realistically, is that 1 damage going to matter? Yeah, it is, because if the opponent does not have the Spell Stutter, I'm winning, I think. -5 on the Bogle. Very, very tough spot. So I have lethal if my opponent does not have Spell Stutter Sprite. -5 here is 5, and then +1 is 6. But is that lethal relevant if I put my opponent at a life total where they can't snuff out? I don't think so. I think if I don't lose this warrior, my opponent can't win unless they have like untapped black, kill this. Yeah, I think I got this. I think I got this. That was very tough. It was so tempting to attack with this creature, but then I would lose to Spellstutter Edict. Now I don't lose to anything. Oof. Okay. Yeah, this matchup is probably terrible. Like, I need to really... I don't even know. So let's see. Indestructible. That doesn't work against Edicts. Neither does Flagbearer. I have a couple of Scattershot Archers that might be decent. I don't think I need the lifelink. So at least I want to make that swap. I feel like I should play 2 Archers, but I wonder what I'm cutting here. Wonder what I'm cutting in this matchup. I guess you can always cut Commune, but I don't think it's correct. Let's try that. So this matchup is basically about me sneaking in a creature and growing it before it dies to something like Suffocating Fumes, Arms of Hadar, stuff like that. So I mean, this is a clear keep, and I'm gonna play the Scout turn 1 because of Spellstutter. Opponent goes Augur. The clock is kind of ticking on me here. I could imagine. Opponent does not find anything. That's very unlucky. Think I'm supposed to cantrip twice here. Armor. Okay, I'm gonna go for armor here, so my creature doesn't die to like -1/-1 effect. So now the problem is Edict. Let's see if I'm a champ. This is probably a champion-esque draw. I'll try and play out a Ledgewalker. That works. So now Edict doesn't work. Oh. Okay. Well, we kind of march on here. Oh, the opponent's interaction was Spellstutter, so that's why. Oh. Hey. Fair enough. Ledgewalker resolved, so my opponent's plan is not Edict. Ah, okay. So the opponent goes... Yeah, this is probably not going to end well for the opponent. Ancestral Mask on the Ledgewalker. I have First Strike. I can attack with both. Opponent takes 9. I draw a card end of turn. And it's time to find something from the opponent's side. Definitely time to find something. I believe there's a new edict that kills the opponent's biggest creature. I really like that card in theory, but let's see. Sure. The opponent takes back the Monarch. And there's an edict. Okay. So I think I just have lethal here with, second Ancestral Mask. Let's kill the opponent. Yeah, I drew insanely well here. I got the important stuff under Counterspell. I got to kind of counter an edict by drawing the second creature. So funnily enough, I drew all of these creatures in a row, I think. I think I only had one creature at the time. So yeah, I mean, if you can get like serviceable hands and get under the Counterspell, Spellstutter Sprite, Chainer's Edict deck, then sure, but I don't think this is a good matchup. But I mean, a win is a win, so let's see if we can keep the roll going. Alrighty, round 2. I have a serviceable hand. I'm on the draw. I can go turn 1, Utopia Sprawl, turn 2, Ledgewalker, start growing it. This is fine. Will need some help from the top of my deck to grow it further. Don't think I'm winning the game with a 2/2. We're most likely playing against Boros Glitters, which is Yeah, probably just a tough matchup, I would imagine. Play Sprawl, name white. Yeah, wonder. Oh, we're playing against blue-white affinity. Okay, sure. I'm trying to think here. And maybe I need the flag bearers just because the opponent plays glitters. But let's not worry about that right now. My opponent does have counter up here. That's actually huge for the opponent. But I can't do anything about that. Like, I need to play my Ledge Walker out, but this is turn 2 Rebuke mana. I didn't see that until now. But there's no way I can wait here. That's just extremely awesome for the opponent. I think what I want to do is this. Try and cycle my way into the next creature. So at least I have game here. I'm losing to some all that glitters draw, but I have game against their small ball. Yeah, this is just too much. That card just might be the reason, funnily enough, that this deck is not playable, because other decks just have like this. Yeah, I'm also a Boggles deck, but I don't play bad cards. Yeah, let's see here. So we can go Slippery. Okay, I misplayed there. That was kind of bad. What I should have done was tap this and then kind of put Utopia Sprawl on the next land to make it a, let's call it a 0-drop. But that didn't happen. So then I would have had one more mana on my next turn. Mirror Enforcer, with one card in hand. Yeah, yeah, who knows? That one mana, it's just bad play. Like, opponent puts me to 3. Ancestral Mask is like my best draw here, I can imagine. It's funny. So let's put that. Yeah, I'm losing out on some damage here, which is very unfortunate. So let's see. I can go Ancestral Mask, Cartouche, make a 1/1 attack for 16, gain 16. Yeah, so I lost out on a mana that I could have searched with this one, so maybe it doesn't hurt me, that mistake. Do I lose to the next glitter? I don't think I do because I have a blocker. This is kind of absurd. I needed to get lucky here. Ah, this is a cool one. The opponent stays back with a creature. The blocking is really not ideal here. I'm going to take Ninja damage and Mirror Enforcer damage. A cool thing about the blue-white dig is all that glitters also looks for enchantments, and the hacker is an enchantment. Double glitters. This is funny. It's so funny it also grows my creature. Let's play Commune. We kind of have to hit here. I hit another mask. That's amazing. Ah, boy. Okay. That is funny. This is a good one, right? Big 40-40 Bogle. We play Pauper around here. It's just absurd. All right. So I'm thinking about the flag bearers, but I need to read this. Yeah, enchant creature, because sometimes these are worded enchant creature you control, like the cartouches. Speaking about the cartouche doesn't seem amazing here. Question is, do I want lifelink? Do I believe that lifelink, outside of also having Ancestral Mask, is important? Maybe. So what else have I got here against Affinity? What does Ram Through do? Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or you don't control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. I'm not sure about that. I want the bears for those two. And maybe that's it. Maybe I don't want to tamper too much with the deck. Lifelink might be worse than Cartouche. Tough to say. Okay, let's try again. We're up a game against Blue-White Affinity. We drew like champ. Ooh. So this hand is interesting because it has all the good enchantments. So I just have to find a creature before dying. Is that better than mulliganing? I'm actually going to try and keep this hand, see if we can continue high rolling. I should play something else than Magic. This is sick. Yeah, now this hand turned into just really, really awesome. My opponent's deck does play counterspells, so I can't bang on... I see. There's a flag bear. So, yeah, this game becomes strange now. I don't even know, can I kill a flag bearer with my deck? I play the white cartouche. Let's see, what does this deck do against a flag bearer? Okay, so I need the fight spell. Fair enough. Yeah, that card is a problem. I actually didn't know. I played a bunch of Pauper, like studied a bunch of lists. I actually didn't know that that deck played Standard Bear. Yeah, we kind of win this game. Huh? That was a nasty surprise. A bit of a roller coaster here. Okay, so I need a couple of ram throughs. And maybe I just play those instead of the cartouche. The cool thing about cartouche is you actually can only enchant creature you control, but +1/+1 and first strike is not amazing at all. So I only have 2 answers for that card. Can that really be true? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's like just the best card ever to play turn 2 against the deck, and it's not that played, so the deck's creator doesn't worry too much about it. So we keep this, we fix our mana, we play a turn 2 hexproof creature, and then, yeah, let's see. We have trample, we have lifelink. So, barring a turn 2 flag bear, we're probably in decent shape. Utopia Sprawl is kind of a free roll. I like that. So do I want to go Scout, Rancor, or go Ledgewalker? I think Ledgewalker is just better. Even though it's kind of nice for the mana that I can unload one more spell. But I think this is better for later, for blocking purposes. So this is kind of the... Okay, so no flag bearer. So I get to resolve 2 auras here. Armadillo Cloak. Rancor. Attack for 5 evasive. There's a flag bearer. The opponent found it now. But I have 5 evasive lifelink damage, so let's see. Utopia Sprawl doesn't... Let's see, can I cast a spell or activate an ability? So that means if I do this, let me just see. Yeah, I have to target the flag bearer. So that doesn't help at all. Can go like this. Green. Play Scout. Can't play Rancor. Attack for 5. Not really in the air, but kind of in the air. My opponent needs to raise this 5/3 evasive lifelinker. Ornithopter is a good one to do that. So I lose to all the glitters. What? Oh, the opponent put it on there to kind of protect it. Huh. So I guess they have a second one, and if they have a second one, I just lose? Let's see. Magic Online is being weird here. If they have a second one, they can just put it on Ornithopter, and I'm just losing the game. Yeah, kind of a strange situation. But it's well played. If they found 2, they're winning with this play. So I can only win if my opponent made like an oversight. I'm patiently waiting here for my sentence. I feel like I can take 11 here. They didn't have the second one. My opponent needs to chum block with Ornithopter. I put my opponent to 1? Is that true? Okay. I gain life, sure. Block. Take 5. Opponent to 3, which I have next turn. So they need a glitter on Ornithopter. So that saves them 1 more turn, I believe. I'll take the damage. They're holding up some counter. Wait. Oh, what happened here? No, they accidentally attacked. What? Yeah, they... Okay. They accidentally attacked with Ornithopter. That's... Okay, so... In the real world, the opponent stays back with a double Ornithopter. I have 6 damage coming in. The opponent has the ability to block... Double block this card. Take 1 here, and then have 1 more turn to, I guess, find lethal glitters. Yeah, this glitters, if that glitters was on the Ornithopter, the opponent would have won this game. So yeah, extremely lucky win. Let's see if we can keep it going. Time for round 3. We're currently 2-0 with our nice Boggles deck here. What about this hand? This hand is tricky, I think. I think you have to keep. I think it's more easy to draw some mana sources than it is to like mulligan to a better combination. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Also, the problem with this hand is even the second, like the first land I draw doesn't help me. I kind of need to find 2. Yeah, maybe this is too much. But mulliganing a creature, it's like mulliganing a bizarre and vintage stretch. Not quite the same, but it doesn't feel good. Okay, I'm playing against Troll deck. Draw brick. Miss my land drop. The jig is up. Okay, so which one would I rather resolve? I believe it's armor. Let's try with Rancor first. The opponent's no slouch. Sadly, because of the land situation, I couldn't play out Rancor before because I drew the forest. Otherwise, I would have done that. Like that would be a great way to disguise the play. So the cool thing about this is now any land lets me play game-breaking spells back to back. To back to back, I guess. So the name of the game is, so let's see, this is probably some, this could be like Familiars, or I guess it's not, so it's like Jeskai Ephemerate. Land there. Yes, we take it. It wasn't a land, but it was a pump spell. Kind of let us attack through the Augur. With only Rancor on it, I couldn't even attack through the Augur. And there's the confirmation. We're playing against Jeskai. Ooh, now the opponent gets an indestructible creature, so time to draw the land and win. Land. Yes, baby. Oh, this deck is insane. First strike trample. I'm trying to think about how the opponent gets out of this. In the stock list, do they play like a copy of, I can't remember the name on it. It's a white and a colorless, destroy target enchantment, or like big creature. Let's try and put Cloak on it. Here's a counter. I have 6 toughness. I have first strike. Hopefully nothing bad can happen. Aside from the card I can't remember the name. Something strike, maybe? It's like a multimodal card. Ephemerate. The opponent goes looking. Looks like they missed, which is unfortunate. Coming in for lethal here. The opponent needs to block with at least 2 creatures. A block with the bridge means they die. Artificer is also under the bus. Opponent's at what, 1? Here comes another Ephemerate, and it's about time now that the opponent finds something. There's a Preordain. Let's see what the Preordain can find. Putting enough toughness in front of the Boggle is not enough at all. The opponent needs some kind of spell. And they might also have to deal with this Armadillo Cloak. So let's say they find the card I can't remember that kills an enchantment. Also maybe just plays Dawnbringer Cleric, which kills an enchantment. And what if that happens? Then this guy is down to a 4-2. I played this, then it's a 6-4. I don't know if I have enough trample in that case. Let's play a cloak on it. Opponent brainstorms. I think we're going to game 2, but maybe I shouldn't have said that. Okay, so we kept the one lander, missed our land drop, then drew the lands we needed and found good windows. Like, yeah, that was insane. So my opponent plays 2 damage to all creatures, which is a decent way to, clear the smaller bogles like before they grow. Maybe I want to play like a couple of safekeeping. Maybe it's 3. Maybe I need 3. Do I cut commune? I could also cut a creature. I'll cut a creature here. I have enough luck that I only need 10 creatures. All right, on the draw here, game 2 against Jeskai Ephemerate. I'm on the lovely deck that is Celestia Boggles. And I've been very lucky. I've been running very hot until this point. Let's see if we can continue. Okay. That is not a hand I can keep. Opponent feels the same. Go to 5 or trust your deck. I get draw step, I get cantrip, I get draw step. It's like I get 3 draws at it. Is that better than a mulligan? Tough to say. I'll keep this hand and hope for the best. I have 10 creatures in the deck. I'm a G. I'm a certified G. Next question is, how do you play this hand once you found the 1-drop? The opponent does not have counterspell up next turn, so I think that's the reason to do this. If my opponent played a blue land turn 1, I would go Boggle and just resolve it. There's Augur of Bolas. There's a counterspell. So now I go Bogle, Plains, enchant over here, draw, put armor on it so it doesn't die to the sweeper. Now the opponent's going to hold up counter, but I'm chucking. They're not. Ooh, they play this card. That's cool. I haven't seen that card in this deck before. Opponent holding up counterspell. I feel like it's kind of silly to just get the cloak countered, so maybe I go immune. I find ethereal armor. I feel like I should take that and not play it. I want to play these 2 on the same turn to choke my opponent's mana a little better. I'm going to play out land to look weak. The reason why I'm playing out the land is to make it so that, like, look, there's a few factors here. I kind of have to, get things going here to try and win the game. And my opponent knows about this card. So maybe there isn't too much to be gained here. Let's see. I go ethereal armor on the other one, I guess. That's not a bad call. Let's try and go ethereal armor on that Bogle. That will get countered. Opponent gains some life. I will then go green. Name white. Go cloak. Attack for 8. So by playing like this, I'm playing around my opponent having double counterspell because if I just slam the armor, get countered, then the opponent has mana up again. Now, Faith would have it that I drew another like big card, so I'm gonna get countered anyway. But that's okay. Yeah. I mean, let's put it on that one. There's a must counter or the game's over. Lose focus, and I have to pay 3. Okay, I have to pay 4 rather. Okay, so that's not gonna happen. Nope. I can attack for 8, put my opponent to 4. They need some kind of enchant removal to get out of this, I feel like. I believe now we start seeing chump block from the opponent. The beautiful thing about this deck is once you kind of reach this state, if whether the opponent has like some enchant removal, you can't really do anything about it. Like it's never an option to like stay back and pass the turn into the blue control deck. My opponent needs 1 more block unless they have an interactive spell. They can block and play like, I don't know, some spell that gains life. Maybe they have the Dragon Breath. No, it's not called Dragon Breath, I think. I don't know. Breath Weapon, that's the one. So my opponent goes to 3, I gain life. I'm not convinced playing out this next Bogle is good. Let's see. If they have Breath Weapon, they kill both. Go to 4. And I'm still threatening lethal. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Here's the Breath Weapon. Opponent's at 4. They need to play a spell and chump block to survive. And that wasn't the case. Ooh, Boggle's really running hot here. Let's keep playing until we catch a loss. All right, round 4, playing Celestia Boggles, and I've been very, very lucky. Let's see if we can be stopped here. I have a decent opener. I'm on the draw, and I only have a 2-drop Boggle, but I think it's okay. I think with this deck, you just have to know like what's the minimum requirements of an opening hand. You keep it, and you kind of live with the results. Like I don't think you can get too fancy, to be honest. I draw a 1-drop Bogle. What does that change? Not much, I think. I think it's better to just get my tap land into play and see what's going on. I want to play a Tron land. It's been a while since I've seen a Tron land in Pauper. I can't say it's my favorite deck to play against. Like I remember the like recursive rhinos and stuff like that. It kind of got a bit. It was not my favorite kind of Magic. Let's see. I think it could be useful to play the cheapest one out, put Rancor on it, because that leaves me with more mana to either like double Abundant next turn, or if I draw land, I'll Ancestral Mask right away. It's like it's a bit faster on the development. I draw an Ethereal Armor. That is also very, very exciting. So maybe I go. I shouldn't get clever here. I mean, in a perfect world, it's better to. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's overthinking the situation. This is just solid. I'm going to put Ethereal Armor on it to stay clear of the Sweeper, the Breath Weapon. And then I guess we just let the beatdown commence. Next turn we can... I was never good at math, but let's see how much is the armor. The armor is +6. So I don't have lethal next turn unless I draw a land or the opponent develops an enchantment. Here's Impulse. Like, I'm just expecting this to be Moment's Peace, Rhinos, And then I just try and attack as many times as possible, see if my opponent runs out of gas. There's a land. That's kind of cool. So I can go play land, abundant growth, and lethal mask. Let the moment's piecing commence. No? That was white. Destroy evil. That's the card I thought about last game that my opponent could have had to where this is like kill an shaman, kill a big creature, destroy evil. That makes a lot of sense. Like big creatures are evil, Boggles players are evil. The opponent only took 7 there, looking to take 7 more, so they need some stuff. Oh, I almost forgot about these lands. I love those. But they were kind of, yeah, Tron only once the snow duels got printed. Okay, so we just ran over a Tron deck. Wonder what their counterplay is. They just showed a white card, which is kind of strange. Yeah, I think this is a matchup for a ram through because the opponent might get into a spot where their plan is like Moment's Peace stuff or Rhino stuff, and then this card can win the game through that kind of. Yeah, let's cut a cartouche and a lifelink. I think it's totally fine. I don't think anything else here makes sense until I've seen, like, is my opponent up to sweeping? Is my opponent up to edicting? Like, what's going on? We saw that they play a white card, and we saw that they play a like base blue dual land. So at least we know it's white blue. Tron is oftentimes like a million colors because of the good fixing available. Okay, we're on the draw, up a game. I have some enchantments, like a scout and some lands, so pretty easy keep. I think what I'm going to do here is play around 2-mana counter. Red, okay, that's a lot. We have to take note of this. When the opponent plays Thriving Isle, the splash color, their name, I didn't even check last game. So that was bad. Do I want to get this through counter? And what does that help? I think it's fine. Let's just get it in there. It's better to play I mean, this is not good against red sweepers, but no play really is at this point. But this is good against like the 2-mana counter. 4-man's Prism has entered the battlefield. There's an Ancestral Mask. Let's commune. We can take Cartouche. Let's play a tap land. Attack for 1. The game becomes kind of awkward if my opponent just passes with 3 mana up here. Because then it just, like, almost certain to be a breath weapon. And the problem is the Cartouche doesn't even, help with that. So maybe I just attack first and then I start playing stuff. What would that be? Commune first? No, yeah, if I hit something on commune, like, these are good cards. I think this is where I just, take my medicine, so to speak. Abundant growth, the colorless land. Force my opponent. What's going on here? Like this. Force my opponent to have the dragon breath and then move on with life. So let's say I was 100% sure and not 95% sure I could have attacked first, got in for 1 damage. It's something to consider. It's pretty nice. I found Ledgewalker. It's not nice my opponent has Tron here with an Energy Refractor. But what can you do? So I'll play that out. I can't grow it outside of a breath weapon, unfortunately. The opponent decides to develop a tap land. So, yeah, I need a very good draw to grow this Ledgewalker out of breath weapon. I don't draw that, so I can go Ledgewalker, Cartouche. Cartouche is bad here because the opponent can just take 2 damage and sit on the sweeper, wait for me to play more stuff on it. But I don't think I have a choice. It's not really realistic at this point with my opponent having infinite mana from Tron to find a spot to play Ancestral Mask, but it is what it is. It's good old Mole Drifter. Ah, this is maybe a blast from the past. Maybe this is like the horror. Yeah, I love that card. That card is awesome. Bounce that. Make me discard, I guess, a Slippery Bogle. So now all I can do is like put Ancestral Mask on this card and hope for the best. Yeah, I mean, Ancestral Mask, attack for 4. Once my opponent starts, blinking the horror, I'm just losing big time. So now I just put my auras on my creature, keep attacking. I don't think I have more like strategical decisions left in this game. My opponent stays back with the horror. That's maybe a good sign. Maybe a good sign. Guess we try and put Armadillo Cloak on it and hope my opponent has a handful of nothing. Play Utopia Sprawl. And, I mean, we try and attack with the Ledgewalker a few times. We can only win if my opponent's hand is like mono, breath weapons. Yeah, I don't even know. Like lands. They really can't have anything here. No blocks for obvious reasons. Linking destroys me. Destroy evil on the biggest enchantment. My opponent takes 4. I guess cards like that are also beatable for me. Opponent did not attack. So they're not interested in trading 4 damage for 1 damage. Rancor is a good one. Rancor on that. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, let's go. Let's go. Try and attack for 8. Here's Moment's Peace. Couple of Time Walks. So thinking about my sideboarding, I brought in Ram Through. There is some situation here where, yeah, good play. Now the opponent starts attacking. There's some situation here where I get to a big Ledgewalker that is like lethal in one go. My opponent had, yeah, like with this. My opponent can like hold down the fort with Moment's Peace, but I can kind of fling that for the win. I don't know. Now we try and exhaust the Moment's Peace. And I guess my opponent has to draw something. Funnily enough, the math right now, in case my opponent draws nothing, is the chum block Oh, they can't even jump. They can't jump block. Never mind. I was about to say the -4 on the 15 here is 11, plus 12 from the warrior. Yeah, it seems like the opponent has either nothing or another moment's piece. It's tough. If the opponent has moment's piece here, we need 2 more bricks. Highly unlikely, I would say. Considering how much stuff in that deck is like some kind of action. Pulse. Love it. Okay, so that's way better for me. The opponent goes to 3 life. I wonder if I should play out these cards. Am I beating? If my opponent deals with this, am I then beating a breath weapon on top? There's just such big chunk of damage. I'm actually gonna pass here, but I'm not sure it makes much of a difference. I can't really think of a difference between holding them and playing them out. Weather the Storm. Now I look like a genius for not playing those cards out. The opponent gains some irrelevant life. That's the last card. They need to draw the best card in the deck now. Weather the Storm. I don't like that card in this matchup. I think my chunks of damage are too big, and the spells cast, like, this card is going to be good for the Tron player on like way later in the game when they can start doing like great things with, I don't know, Ghostly Flicker, this and that, and I just think it's like a win more card. It doesn't help your win percentage in the opener. Yeah, we're just running super hot here. Let's see if we can complete the trophy. I mean, it just feels unreal. Like, I'm drawing what I need. I'm dodging the bullets that my opponent need. It's just, yeah, it's a slaughter so far. See you guys for the trophy match. All right, this is a trophy match, and fittingly enough, we play against who I believe is one of the absolute best players to ever lace them up and play Magic Online. It's Discovering, the Vintage Master, the Doomsday Sensei. That player's insane. We're on the draw here. I most likely play against some kind of blue deck. And I mean, yeah, the hand is a keep. It can definitely backfire, but I trust my deck. Oh boy. Discovering is on some Turbo Fog, I would guess. Very, very scary deck. It's kind of like the Tron decks of old. Growth Spiral into Preordain. I guess I just play that out, put Cartouche on it. That's kind of the bad thing about sprawling there early if I don't find my land, because I kind of have to name white, and naming white is not really ideal when I want to like unload multiple green spells a turn. There's a Foretold card, so let's attack for 7. We just try and put pressure on here. That deck is a Tangle Moment's Peace Fog deck, so there's only one way. Drawing the land there was strong. Here's another Foretold card. I'm expecting to get Moment's Peace or Tangled here, which is kind of annoying. So let's commune here. I think it would be kind of nice to put Armadillo Cloak on that creature, because it has Vigilance. So it's kind of a good counterplay for Tangle. The opponent takes the damage, then draws 2. I believe my opponent's at 4. The problem is they're already resolved 2 like very good draw 2s, like with selection even. They have so much mana, so it looks like I'm putting on immense pressure, but I don't think that's the case. I think my opponent's beating me easily here. Huh. Another Patrol card. I'm always interested to see what Discovery's picking up. I want to look into this deck. I don't want to play it on for content. I think just getting to like moments, piece loops, and trying to mill out your opponent. I don't think that's particularly like interesting gameplay, but you know. So here, I think attacking first is better because that deck does play Weather the Storm, and let's just say my opponent only has Weather the Storm as a like defensive mechanism. Then if I start going, oh, Abundant Growth into an aura, like then maybe I'm not exactly doing myself a favor. So let's just attack first. I don't think the size of my creatures matters too much here. Moments Piece is the card. This is another matchup where I guess that card doesn't even work. My sideboard card. I think my opponent needs a creature in order for it to work. But let's see. It's Abundant Growth. Doesn't matter too much, but I think it's good for me to just unload my creatures. Yeah. No, that was not the one. Bottom one. Got it. Green. Scout. Pass. So the game is pretty simple for me from here. Kind of up to Discover and to make the necessary clicks. There's a draw 3. Excuse me. I was about to say, what's going on here? There's a fog, sure. Here's another Bogle. Let's pass the turn. Very high-level strategic gameplay here. Discover and tries and come up with too many fogs for me to handle, and I just keep attacking with my creatures. Here's the third one. Like, Discovering is really going off here. Love that. I need to check out his list. Yeah, that card doesn't matter. I'll attack. I'll get Moments Pieced or Tangled. Who knows? I think, yeah, I should have put Cartouche on Warrior Token. So when I said I didn't have any strategic decisions, I was lying. Accumulated knowledge. Weather the storm. Yeah, now I did it anyway. Played random crap I didn't need. One more Weather the Storm. I can't remember how that deck wins. I think it's like Stream of Thought Stream, or whatever it's called, but I can't remember. So Explore and Growth Spiral. Those are awesome. Like getting to hold the multiverse, lore unrevealed, to kind of make sure you keep the engine running. How do you actually win the game? Milling out your opponent, I believe. Okay, so here's Stream of Thought. And then you go Arcane Denial. So he didn't care about that, but he wants to draw 3. Here's a moment's piece. So there is a world where my opponent ran out of stuff to do. See, so I can go glitter on that one. So me playing out, I basically gave my opponent like, I don't know, 9, 12, 15 life, something along those lines. I wonder if that'll be relevant. I guess we have to attack with everything to present 27. Let's see, 23, 25. Yeah, let's just attack with everything. Here's Tangle. Tangle's a reason to suit up Vigilance creatures. Here's the 4th Behold the Multiverse. Wow. Growth Spiral. And maybe Discovering Will Even Weather the Storm. Let's see. That's only 22. I have 23 damage here. If I had put Cartouche on it, would have been a little bit more. Scry 1. Yeah, this is not the best entertainment. I'm sorry for that. I mean, it's cool. I'm playing a trophy match on video, of course, but this gameplay is just not dynamic, I would say. So for entertainment purposes, not my favorite deck. For trying to win a Magic tournament, definitely a great choice. I need to look into that deck. I think it's very, very good. Also, I think it's very frustrating to play against. So you can probably get some equity. Moment's piece, sure. Let me read this. Stream of thought. You can replicate it. So that means at some point you get to a point where you resolve this and kind of shuffle back some moments piece and more streams. I think so. Can this deck beat like Flaring Pain? I play Flaring Pain in like Burn and stuff. Here's another moments piece. 2 moments piece in the yard. Accumulated knowledge. Accumulated knowledge. My opponent has a crap ton of cards in hand. 5 cards in the library, but I think Stream of Thought kind of makes it so that you're not decking. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so replicated 3 times here. So that means I get milled for 16. And my opponent can kind of choose which cards to put back in their own library. So I guess they take Stream of Thought. Stream of Thought is in the deck. And I wonder what else. Tangle's gone. Can I see what they choose? I don't think so. I kind of have to keep an eye out for like what's missing from the graveyard. Okay, 3 moments piece in the yard. I believe I'm dead here, but who knows? This end game is just so nasty. Is that a draw 4? I think so, yeah. Unless 1, 2, 3. Looks like the opponent shuffled back 1 accumulated knowledge. So here comes the lethal mill, maybe. I'll get milled for 20. I'll just see the land or the lethal tangle / fog, and we're on to game 2. Okay. Cool execution of the blue-green deck. What can we do about that? My opponent is not putting any creatures into play. So I can't do anything if my opponent gets to that endgame. Lifelink doesn't do anything aside from pumping other, like via Ancestral Mask and armor and glitters. Okay. Let's run it back. Ooh. I'm glad we had 4 like fast-paced matches leading into this. I don't think this is the best, like spectator-wise, but I'll try not to repeat that anymore. Govern on Turbo Fog. That's what nightmares are made of. It's cool every time I play against Discovered and Vintage, I see some new like trick I didn't think about before, or he goes for some lines that I never considered. It's truly magical. One of the best ones I remember was I saw in his deck list, he played 1 basic island in the main, 1 basic island in the sideboard, but it was a snow covered in the sideboard. And I always thought to myself, like, it didn't matter, right? And then I play against Discover, and he goes, he's playing Doomsday. He preordains, puts 2 to the bottom, draws a card. Then a few turns later, he's missing his land drop, so he goes Demonic Consultation, name Snow-Covered Island, because he knew that was the island he put to the bottom. Milled all the way down there, plays out the land, and plays Thassa's Oracle. So not only did I die to Consultation Oracle, I died because Demonic Consultation was sure to find that exact land to enable the kill. It was just really, really cool, cool display of clever deck building, knowing your cards. Yeah, that was awesome. So there I went for the untapped white source instead of the tapped artifact, which, yeah, who knows? Who knows what's better? I'm trying to kind of hit as fast as possible. All the glitters. I'll put that on the warrior token, then I'll play out the bridge. A lot of land cycling here to open the game. Let's attack for 6. The funny thing is, the Vigilance creature has a bit of equity against that deck because of Tangle. I've never thought about that before, but it's some of the stuff where when you encounter new situations, the more you can kind of catch on the fly, the better, right? So let's go Abundant Growth, put that on the plains. We're making Weather the Storm a great magic card here. Let's try and attack for, what is that, 10? Trying to put Discover in at a dangerous life total. Weather the Storm has gained 12 at this point, which is basically like fogging the turn. Growth Spiral, Bounce Land, Return Island. A little bit of sculpting. 2 to the bottom is always a good sign. So I have 10 damage here. If I play into Weather the Storm. Let's see. If my opponent does not have Moment's Peace, they only have double Weather the Storm or like one spell and Weather the Storm, then what? Yeah, this is +2 because of glitters. I think it's decent. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I see. I see. Accumulated knowledge. Draw 2 from accumulated knowledge. We're told. Attack with everybody. Get Moment's Peace again. Tangled, sure. So the opponent has 1 Moment's Peace in the yard. My strategy of enchanting warrior token is kind of paying off here. Lifelink is a fun one. Yeah, let's attack. Opponent boarding in Murmuring Mystic. I'm not sure about that, but I guess it's a good, like, I don't play any removal spells, so I guess it's a good way to... Maybe that plan is better than the mill plan. That's actually very possible. Play Scout. Play Lifelink. Pass. Behold the Multiverse from Fortell. 2 to the bottom, draw 2. All I have is hope. Okay, the opponent also has the mill stuff. And then Arcane Denial on that, I guess. Okay. Here's an attack. Opponent draw some cards. What can I draw? I can draw a Rancor. Let's put Rancor on the warrior. Moment's Peace. So let's do the math here. Opponent is attacking for 5 in the air, then Moment's Piecing once more, then attacking for 6 in the air. That's 11. So they don't need that much more to just do it to me. So now it's 5 plus 8. That's 13. Now it's 5 plus 9. Cloak on it, get Moment's Pieced. So I lose to one more fog effect. Growth Spiral. Puts the opponent at 10 attackers. I'm down to 5. I'm attacking with everybody in case my opponent has like a very bad hand, including Weather the Storm. So yeah, that's GG's. Our run ends here. In the hands of Turbo Fog, that's just what happens. Either you can kind of, kill them fast, or they kind of get into this inevitability state and it's just over. I really like the strategy of remembering Mystic out of the sideboard. It's like easier for time. It's easier for a lot of things. And yeah, no trophy this time around, but Boggles was very fun to play. And I ran hot until I didn't. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time for more sweet magic. Bye, guys.